Okay, welcome to another episode of Reflections of a CEO, where I peel back the curtain on what it's like to actually run a business. So today, this week, it's been a tiring week. I mean, it's interesting. I never think about them in sort of weeks. It's more every day is just another day, and I actually look at it like a month. So I go through a month, and there's a certain number of days in the month. I don't look at the 5 days of work and the 2 days of the weekend. It's more, here's my 30 days. So anyways, I'd say it's been a pretty tiring month for me. And I'm pretty tired right now, especially because on Thursday, I moved to Miami. And so the past 2 weeks in New York, I've been just cramming a bunch of meetings in. It's interesting, now that I'm only spending, 10 days in New York, I essentially have to do 30 days worth of meetings in 10 days. And what's actually happening is it's been making me think about who do I actually take meetings with. So I've actually turned down a ton of meetings because it just wasn't possible to fit in. But anyways, I slightly overbooked myself while I was here. It was a good little test because I needed to experiment with how many meetings can I have per day while I'm here, who should I be meeting with, etc. And so I'm tired, but I'm not upset about it. I'm more I'm listening to my body and feeling, seeing how I feel, so I can make adjustments. And that's what really leads me into our topic of today that I want to talk about, which is optimization. Okay, and when I think about optimization, I think about it in three different ways. One is mental health. 2, emotional health, and 3 is physical health. For those of you that have been listening to me and following me for a little bit now, you'll know that those are the 3 that are really important to me, and I've been working on them each for quite a bit of time, specifically focusing on my mental and emotional health over the last year and a half. I used to only worry about and focus on my physical health, and then a while back, then I realized that there was these 2 other components that were super important. And I've done a really great job, I think, over the last year and a half, working on my emotional and mental health. And but one thing that I've neglected a bit, actually, over the past 6 months or so is my physical health. So I used to work with a fitness coach, a nutrition coach, every week, really optimizing my energy. And even before that, I used to be very into fitness and nutrition. It's not that I'm not now, it's more that just was something that I focused on so much 5 years ago, 6 years ago when I was focusing on the business, because in my head I was like, well, if I'm physically healthy, then I can do the work. And then what I realized was that it's not just about physical health. Mental and emotional health plays such a massive role into your day-to-day energy and how you perform on the job. And so I kind of over-indexed back to mental and emotional health, and so under-indexed a bit on physical health recently. And my physical energy has been down. And through looking inside, it wasn't so much now the mental and emotional side that was draining me. It was just actually like I'm physically tired. And I think there's a lot of factors that go into it: what you eat, how you sleep, your exercise, all of those things. And one thing that I realized was, hey, I haven't been working with a coach. So I made the decision to rehire my coach. It's not a cheap expense. I'm spending, it'll end up being $7,000 to $10,000 a year or something like that, just on having a coach, right? But it's worth it to me, right? Something I would have never done years ago. But it's really important to optimize all areas of your body, from nutrition to sleep to the physical activities, and really what I've asked for from my coach now is helping me think long term. So I view myself similarly to an athlete, in the sense that my game is business. So I'm looking to optimize every aspect of my life: physical, emotional, and mental, right? And for physical, I'm asking him to make me optimize, make my physical energy optimize today, but also keep in mind longevity. I want to play this game of business for a very long time, and then I want to live also a long time. And so when I'm talking about that physical energy. I'm also talking about, even my movement, right? I need to stay limber and there is a physical aspect to running a business, and staying in peak condition is super important. So starting to work with a coach again. Officially February 1 is when I'll start. And I believe we're actually going to go and try the keto diet. It's something I've been curious about, but based on my goals and him analyzing everything, we decided, okay, let's go with the keto diet. I'm going to start mixing in things like massages and yoga, and maybe even some acupuncture and some different things to really optimize the physical health, right? Because that's very important, and it's costing me some money. But I can feel it, and I need to make that investment. And because one thing that's really important is you have to be good before you can take care of the business and play the game. And I used to really not appreciate that. So anyways, that's on the optimization side for me. Quick little update. If you can. I was about to say if you can afford it, do it, but it's really not even that. It's like, to me, it's actually, I get an ROI out of it. I'm like, I'm putting that money in, which will help me perform better at work, and then I'll make way more money than that. So I don't even look at it like a cost center. I look at it like an investment, and there's an ROI. Same with my mental and emotional health. A lot of that work is actually done with my executive coach, which, she helps with the business side of things too, but really on the emotional and mental side, and just looking at that, between coaches, around everything. I mean, I spend, just for context, I don't mind sharing with everyone. I spend, I'll spend next year $40,000-$50,000 just in coaching kind of stuff alone, and working on myself and improving and optimizing all of those things. Between people that are coaching me and things that I'm buying or whatever it is. 40,000-50,000, and I think over time it'll start going up to 100K, 150K, 200K, just because the return will be there for me, in my opinion. So yeah, that's the optimization. And what also comes to mind with the optimization, I was just thinking about this. I was out at dinner with a friend a couple nights ago. Good friend of mine that I've known for years, and we're talking about potentially doing some real estate work together. But then we got on the topic of optimization, and we talked about physical health and things that he was doing, and we talked back and forth about that. But since I've already touched on that, I'm not going to recover it. What we also talked about, though, was the mental and emotional side, and how not everyone is playing that same game of optimization, and to me that's okay, totally fine. But you have to surround yourself with people that are, or remove yourself from people that aren't, because some people say, oh, you're reading that book, that's bullshit, and like they're too cool for it or whatever. And it's like, just remove yourself. You don't want to be surrounded by those people. You want to be surrounded by people who are also optimizing themselves, who also want to push themselves, right? Otherwise, you're going to be dragged down with other people who are not doing that. And I just don't want that. So I remove myself from people that aren't focused on improving themselves, aren't focused on optimizing themselves. Like, I just don't want to be a part of it, because you really are influenced by people around you, and I want to be influenced in a positive way, not a negative way. So anyways, that's kind of really what I wanted to talk about today. I actually, to be honest, I don't have much energy right now, because I'm in back-to-back meetings all day today. This was the only little sliver of time I could separate to record a podcast. But I figured, hey, let me do it while I'm tired. I'm going to document it, because this is the real shit. I've had meetings all morning, and then I have all meetings the rest of the day. And it was like that Monday, and then also tomorrow, and the next day. And then right when I'm done with my last meeting on Thursday, I head to the airport, fly to Miami. So 4 days of meetings straight, definitely draining on my energy. I'm really working on optimizing my time now, and really not doing this again. For the past couple of years, I've been in meetings back to back, like all the time, every day, and I don't want to say I took some pride in it, but it's really like, does every meeting need to actually be there? Or are you just making meetings to like feel productive or to be busy? And as I'm really looking at that now, because I really want to remove out unnecessary things. Unnecessary meetings and calls and that kind of stuff, and really just focus on being productive. Like, what do I absolutely have to be on the phone for, or a video call or whatever it is, and everything else just remove, either delegate it or just say no. And so this was a good reminder. I've been really good about that over the last month, really removing myself from things. But this week, packed in a bunch of stuff. So some of it I can't get around, internal meetings that we're doing for large planning stuff. Those I need to have, right? And so some weeks, okay, fine. Every now and then we'll have a little bit of a packed week, but I really want to make a point of not overextending myself like I've done in the past, and really drawing the line between what is needed versus just being busy and having meetings to have them. Because that's kind of useless. There is something to be said about having a random meeting and like something comes out of it, right? Serendipity, I do believe in that a lot. But just as I'm getting to the point where I'm at, what I'm noticing is the amount of meeting requests I'm getting are, it's kind of just crazy. If you asked me 7 years ago, would I have this many meeting requests? Absolutely not. Like multiple a day, all the time. And I'm not even doing sales anymore, right? Like when I was doing sales, I expected it at Jack. Now that I'm not leading sales, it's more just people, wanting my time. And I love giving it out, but I'm like, look, there's only 24 hours in a day. I'm very generous with my time, but now I also need to be selfish with it, because I just can't. Just today alone, I've gotten 3 messages from people. Hey, can I hop on the phone for a couple minutes? First off, it's never a couple minutes, right? And I'm really bad at saying no, but I need to get better at it, because this goes into optimizing where I'm spending my time and how I'm focusing on it, and realizing, hey, it's okay to say no, and maybe I can actually answer them over a quick text. You don't need to call with everyone, right? I've canceled a couple meetings and calls this week because I realized that's what it was, and I didn't feel bad about it because I come first. It's weird saying that, but I'm saying it as much to remind myself to do it, but that's really important. So anyways, I have to jump to my next meeting. Like I said, it was a pretty busy day, so this one's going to be a shorter podcast episode. But really just what I want to emphasize is really just focusing on optimizing yourself and really listening to your body and not getting upset about it, right? Listen to your body, your emotions, your mind, and if you need a break, if you need whatever it is, don't beat yourself up. Don't try to. What I used to do is always just power through all that. It's like, no, like listen to yourself. Take care of yourself first. It's so important. And this is something that I just didn't realize when I was starting the business. Like, this is a super long-term game, and it really is like being like an athlete. Like, I thought I could run at the pace I was doing in year one for 30 years, and I was like, oh, everyone who can't do that is a little bitch, and and that was my mentality. But I was so naive in the moment, and now I just realized, I'm 7 years in, and I plan to do this for decades moving forward. And so, it's a long-term game. So I'm very now mindful of my energy, how I'm feeling, where I'm spending my time, and just trying to every day get better at it. Like, I'm not perfect, and I'm constantly adjusting. I constantly, here's a little trick I use, is every day I do it, but really every week I'm looking back. Where did I spend my time? What meetings did I have? When did I work out? All of those things, then adjusting. I'm very mindful of it. I think about it a ton. I just don't just keep going. Like, I'm very reflective on it and then adjust. And so if you do this, keep doing it. If you don't, and you run a business, and even if you don't run a business, like I think it's really important to optimize your time and your health for longevity and for stamina, so that you can perform at peak. I want to perform at my peak for as long as possible. So yeah, I'm really training like not training like an athlete. I'm training like a business owner, training like a CEO. It's a serious thing. You have to train, yourself and your mind. And so, anyways, it's fun. It's fun doing this when I'm absolutely exhausted right now mentally. But recording this, so this will be fun. Maybe you might be hearing it in my tone. I'm usually pretty good about not showing it a lot, but. When I'm in meetings, I can flip a switch and have the energy on. But right now I'm a little tired, so I'm just telling everyone. But anyways, optimization, super important. So takeaways: look to optimize your physical, emotional, mental health. 2, for me personally, what works really well, find a coach or someone to help you hold accountable, both from an accountability standpoint, like, hey, making sure you do this stuff, but also there is something to be said about giving someone money, because then you're like, mentally, you become more accountable. It's this weird thing, at least for me, right? And then also be gentle on yourself. If you're having a tired day emotionally, mentally, or whatever, like really be gentle on yourself, and be in tune with it, and constantly adjust, look back at the week, the month, the year, and make adjustments and work to improve and iterate on it. So listen to how you're feeling, and make adjustments. So those are some of the takeaways. I hope you're all are having a great day, and yeah, I think that's it. So that's it for this episode. On the next episode of Reflections of a CEO, we'll have a fun one. I'm going to take you and walk you through the 2018 financials for Jacked. If you're joining by video, you'll see I'm wearing the Jack sweatshirt. So this is the main business that I own as part of Pulpo Group. And I'm going to pull back the curtains and reveal all the financials. So you'll see exactly how much revenue we made, exactly how many expenses we've made or had, how much profit we've made, everything. So it's something that I wish other people would do more of, especially as I was growing my business. And I'm going to reveal it all to you. So you'll see everything. So anyways, that'll be next time on Reflections of a CEO. Thank you for joining, and I will see you all next time.